Damn, these roads are something. I wish you could see what I'm seeing right now. It's just blowing wind and the road is covered in snow. Can you hear me, by the way? Oh shit, I'm gonna lose you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna lose you for a second. I'm gonna probably drop, but I'll pop back in. It's just a dead spot coming up.
Fun.
Such a fucking dad, dude. be dicey through. Ooh, hello. Dicey through. The next little while, and then until I probably what is that? 22 or 220? 22 for several miles until I go down the mountain, and then it'll chill. But yeah, that sound you heard, if you heard that, was it's just some like standing water on the side of the road. That was probably a combination of like ice and slush and standing water, because it's 18 degrees.
Right.
Yeah, Jocelyn just, I've mentioned this, I think, in our chat before. She just lives in this little microclimate that I think is much more similar to, like, upper Midwest, like, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, than it is Pennsylvania, especially the part of Pennsylvania she's in, or, like, upstate New York. It's an insane amount of snow. Every year, I mean, I've known her long enough for this to be a full sample size, and she'd always tell me, yeah, pretty much every year it snows by Thanksgiving. Like, by the time that it's Thanksgiving, we've at least gotten a dusting. And that's some, like, fucking cold climate, like, northerly climate shit. That's not a South Central Pennsylvania thing. But she lives at 2,500 feet. Like, to get to her house, you have to climb. And it's not like she lives at the tip of a mountain, but, like, the town and community she lives in is at high elevation. And I guess she just, like, combination of high elevation plus, well, the effect that has on both temperature and, like, weather and clouds and shit, I think just pretty much results in a situation where she lives gets this type of weather. And it's quite literally the case that you can drive like 8 to 10 miles down the road to Altoona, which is, I don't know, their elevation, probably like 500 feet, like a standard, close to sea level, and it'll be 12 degrees warmer and raining. So it's there's been many times where I've come to her house and everything is completely fine until the last 10 miles of the trip, as you start gaining altitude, and then it can get super sketchy super quick.
Yep.
You know people from Minnesota. You should like sympathize with this.
Oh, all of us in Minnesota and Wisconsin, we know Jocelyn well. She's like a little pack or something, like a blood bond. We all have the same weather.
Yeah, you should sympathize with this topic of conversation. But how were your classes, and how's your break been treating you?
Classes were fine. The break's been uneventful. Need to fucking take my car in for work. I haven't done that forever. Been putting it off.
What kind of work? You have like a check engine light?
Just routine maintenance, yeah.
Oh, gotcha. What do you do for, like, oil rotation, spark plugs?
Oil rotation. I probably need new tires by now.
Yeah.
I have to go up to my parents and fetch something.
How many miles do you have on those tires? Do you know?
I got them in like 2021, so they're probably they're probably getting there.
But it depends on the mileage. Depending on the tire, anywhere from like, some tires don't go far, but ideally like 25,000-30,000 miles. Some will take you up to 60. Like my original set on this Mazda got me 40, 45. Oh, I gotta be really careful here. The set after that I replaced before they were done, just because I wanted a different type of tire. And then these are, I want to say, come like at least 30, maybe coming up on 40, and they've been good to me. So I'm currently getting on an on-ramp on the interstate going 25 miles per hour because it's just coated in snow and God knows what else. Yeah, maybe it wouldn't have been the worst idea in the world to have waited to drive back in the morning when I could, I don't know if it still would have been snowing and blowing. I know it would have been windy. I don't know if it would have been this snowy and wintry weathery, but I at least would have been able to see, which would have been a perk. Be able to see the road and my surroundings a bit better. Yeah, this is fucking scary, not gonna lie. Holy shit. Can't see shit, man. Alright, well, I know that this is only going to be like this for probably the next 4 to 5 miles, 6 to 8 miles, and as I lose elevation, it will progressively get calmer, so each inch I go, I'm getting to a better place.
That's something you can say while driving, also something you can say while slitting your wrists.
That's true, yeah. Or any sort of like suicide attempt that you expect will be successful, I guess. I don't think that's one that you can say if you pull the trigger to a gun, just in the sense that that's kind of a quick and done. Yeah, the biggest issue right here is that besides the fact that there's just a dusting of snow down, which is making it hard to see lanes and lines in the road, and there's like no reflectors or lighting to assist with that, it's blowing wind, and then it'll gust, and you'll just get a poof of powdery snow, and you quite literally can't see fucking anything. So, I mean, thank God it only happens when it gusts, and that it's not permanent, but yeah, if that was like doing that permanently, yeah, you would not be able to drive at the moment at present. Okay, I do think I've located the center line. I'm on a interstate, or sort of like a divided highway, 2 lanes each direction, so yeah, okay, that is in fact the center line. 52, maybe slow down a little bit. Although I really can't tell how bad the road is. I don't think that's slush. I think that it's clear and then it's just a dusting of snow, but that's better safe than sorry. I'm fucking driving like a...
You drive over really fast and crank the wheel hard in one direction.
I'm driving either like a boomer or like a stressed out, anxious Asian woman, and like, or Asian person. It doesn't have to be a woman. I'm just sitting, like leaning very forward, like forehead almost touching the windshield, just because I need to, like, I'm trying to spot the lines in the road. I guess this is the other reason that they put in those grooved shoulders that make sound when you touch them, not only for if you doze off, but so that if you can't see the fucking lines in the road, you can, if you drift too far one way or the other, you'll hear it. I was saying, even if I have to make 2 stops, which I'm going to have to make 2 stops, I could still potentially get this near a 4-hour trip if I could keep each stop to like a minimum or a maximum of 10 minutes for gas and just a pit stop. But that would be contingent on like being able to go like 5 to 10 over the entire way, and I think that has been lost, at least for the first 15 miles of the trip. Now, if I can peg it pretty good, peg, for the rest of the way once I get out of this shit, which should be within the next 2 to 3 miles, and not even within like the next, no, 2 to 3 miles, then maybe I could still, 5 a.m. might be a stretch, but like 5:15, 5:20 might be doable. I want to get a car wash, but I think, hello, can't see anything. I think that's going to have to wait until tomorrow, which is fine. I I don't give a shit that my car's dirty. I'm fine with that. I'm happy to wait until it rains. But the problem is when the roads are treated and you get all that salt and bullshit up under the undercarriage and within the wheel wells and all that. That absolutely causes you issues. So I like to get a car wash where they have an undercarriage. It's touchless. I don't want brushes touching my car, but blast the undercarriage, which is good news. So. But I don't think that if it sits for 6 or 7 hours while I sleep and then I take it tomorrow afternoon, then that'll be a difference between the car getting all kinds of fucked up versus not if I took it early this morning when I get back. Okay. Finally, I'm making the descent down the mountain, or down the hill, the stretch where it always like starts to get bad. By going the opposite way, so I'm hoping that it's going to start to not get bad or get less bad. Got my CB radio on. Alright then, I might have to brave this longer than I was anticipating. I can't get a good read on the road conditions because it's just blowing, and so there's like this thin layer of hazy, powdery fog as I'm trying to like inspect the road I'm driving on. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad, but you can see tire marks, which means there's a layer of something down. It's not just like, well, I guess it could just be powder, but there's some cars a little ways back there, so I'm like, I might just step on the brake and see if they lock up to try and gauge the conditions, but looks like it's a plow coming behind me, and I do not want to be overtaken by a plow and then pelted with fucking solids. So. Jocelyn was saying, what if a tractor trailer blows over on top of you? It's so windy, and I was just like laughing, like that's such a ridiculous concern. But if that shit happens, I will laugh. If I'm not dead.